This week's parsha represents with Rabbi Shlomo Hanan once again. V'Zot HaBerachah. This is the blessing. What is the blessing? Who is the blessing? What are we talking about? Before Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, the leader of the Jewish nation, passed away in the desert, he gave the Jewish nation a blessing. And that's the blessing we are going to talk about in this week's parsha. Represents. V'Zot HaBerachah asher berach Moshe. This is the blessing that Moshe blessed us, the man of God, Ish HaElokim, et Bnei Israel b'fnei moto, the nation of Israel before he passed away. So the first question that comes up is, why before he passed away he gave the blessing? How come didn't he give the blessing years ago, 40 years ago in the desert? Why now? One of the simple answers there are because when a person achieves his whole life, he becomes a greater person and his blessings mean more. Especially with Moses, the leader of the nation of Israel, was a man of God. All these years where he was closer to God and became close and closer. So his blessing became more and more effective and more powerful. But now, the blessing that he gave us, I'm not going to really get into the blessing itself, but I'm going to talk about how the blessing came to. As we see, the second pasuk, he said that he's going to bless the nation of Israel, and he starts talking about God. Vayomar, Adonai miSinai ba v'zarach miSeir lamo, Ofiya me'ar Paran. So as the blessing, before Moshe applies his blessing to us, he starts talking about God. And the first question that jumps up is, why is he talking about God? Isn't the blessing supposed to be for the nation of Israel? Why is he talking about God? And he's talking about how the Jews received the Bible at Sinai, and how God came to accept them. Like a chatan coming to see the kala, like a groom coming to see the bride. And why is that so important? Before he blesses us, why is that so important to talk about how God came to see us and how God came to give the Jewish people the Bible? So the idea is like this. You have to know what you're worth and where you come from and your identity. And that can give you a lot of power to do what you are supposed to do. If somebody comes to a job interview and he wants to be a carpenter, and they say, were you ever a carpenter? And he says, not really. They say, okay, we'll think about it. Comes in the next guy, and they say, were you ever a carpenter? He says, yeah, but not only that, my father owned a company of wood supplies. How much more meaning does that have for the person to get the job? So when Moshe is replying his blessings to the nation of Israel, he is telling them, you have so much to do, and you have to believe in yourselves so much. Believe in yourself, because God, the creator of the world, the Almighty, He Himself came down to the earth to give you the awesome responsibility and the light of the world and the reason of the world, why it was created, which is the Bible. And He is giving it to you to carry out this into the world. And then He goes on to the blessings. I just want to say to all of you out there, make the world a better place. Hopefully, we are all going to see Messiah come and go into a brand new beginning, of a brand new world. Thank you very much. And this week's parsha represents, and thank you again to the film editor and producer, Baruch Friedman.